Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Bridget Brown Jackson. Hey, I'm back at you live. I'm back at you live. Let me do something because guess what? The other day, my microphone was absolutely tripping. It costs too much to be tripping. Too much to be tripping. So let me see if I can hear myself this time. I'm sorry if y'all hear the echo in the background. Okay, there we go. I can hear myself. So if you're listening, hey, tap in, and actually share this with somebody else. Today, we're going to be talking about something very, very important about our lack. And that's not anything to diss anybody because you better believe me that I had a lot of lack. But tap in, share this with somebody else. I'm only going to be with you a few minutes and then move out of your way. But this is Thursday, and I like to talk about Think About It Thursday. So, we're going to think about some things today that's going to help elevate you and change you. And yeah, your girl is repping Michigan. Anybody out there that's collegiate fans, and you know what happened. I'm sorry, I want to make sure I didn't knock over my water. Make sure what happened. Last weekend, yeah, I got some friends that they're that red and white school. Guess what? Maize and blue, they did it. Anyhow, tap in, invite somebody else. Again, my name is Bridget Brown Jackson. I am a behavior wealth strategist. If this is your first time watching me come live, I'm back. I apologize for not being available for the past couple of months, but if you listened in on a Facebook, because this is being streamed across multiple platforms. But if you listen to my Facebook group the other day, Tuesday, we were talking about Transformation Tuesday. I was talking about transformation, and I actually shared the story about my son, how my son had went missing, but really, thank God, he wasn't missing. But it was a mama's worst nightmare. He was in Georgia. My son is a 6'1", 240 something plus pounder, black male. And so in Georgia, worried again, an area that he wasn't familiar with, didn't know, and everything, but thank God was with him. So anyways, today we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, about being powerful, walking and growing in your calling, because we have to understand that our lack does something. And so we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But if you are listening, if you're listening and you are actually on the Facebook platform, you literally, if you give StreamYard permission, I can see who you are. If not, if you make a comment, go ahead and comment. If you're watching, where are you hailing from? Where are you watching from? I'm repping the D. I'm all the way in Detroit, Michigan. Excited to be with my people once again. And so, tell me where you're repping from. Again, we're going to be with you just a few minutes, and we're going to be talking about how your lack is harmful, not just to you, but to others as well. And so that's what we're talking about tonight, and we're going to get on out of your way. But again, I just want to share with everybody that, again, make sure you share this with somebody because I think it will bless them. I'm your girl again, Bridget Brown Jackson. I love talking all things behavior. I'm your behavior wealth strategist, and we're going to get into this. So let's talk about how you were created to do some amazing things. So, if you listen to me whatsoever, you will hear me talk a lot about one of my favorite scriptures. It is in Matthew's, the 25th chapter, chapter 25, starting at verse 14. It talks about the parable of the talents, where the owner was about to leave, and he leaves his servants some talents. He leaves his servants his goods, right? And so he divides them up. And so the parable shares about three. And in the three servants, one he gives 5 talents, another he gives 2 talents, and another he gives 1 talent. And the one with 5, he go to work with his talents. The one with 2 goes to work with their talents. The one with 1 takes his talent and he digs a hole and he buries it. And so he doesn't do anything with it. And then the master comes back and says, okay, what did y'all do with what I gave you? And the one with 5 says, here, master, look what I did. I duplicated, I replicated exponentially. Here you go. And then the one with 2 did the same thing and said, yes, I did some amazing things with it. And here you go. And then we have the one with the 1 talent. He said, I dug a hole, I put it in a hole, and I didn't do anything with it. Okay. Now, here's where I want to talk to you all about. All right. I was in that set. So I'm not talking about people that do that. God gifted me and gave me so many talents. And some of my talents I used and some of them I didn't. And guess what happened? When we don't use our talents, there's somebody behind that needs whatever that is. So whether you're a speaker, whether you are a singer, whether you're an actor, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, whatever, you all have gifts and talents, but you also have multiple ways. So I was a principal. And so I had that. I'm good at education. Y'all, let me tell you something. Very, very good. But God also put down on my heart to start a business. And I did. In 1999, I started a business with my best friend. We started this business. We started this consultant business. She went on to become a principal. 2 years later, I went on to be a principal, and we kind of, got busy in doing our principalship, right? And left our dream, our big dream of doing consulting work and having our own entrepreneurial endeavor, and we kind of put it to the side. In 1994, I wrote a book. Put it to the side. Life me, put it to the side. In 2000, I started writing a book. Put it to the side. God had all these gifts and things, and I put stuff to the side until I got to the point where I got tired of procrastinating and I said, procrastination no more. And so I want you all to understand that. Stop procrastinating. I talk about that. I talk about that in my book. And I put it up here. So you see my book, Powerful, Growing You and Unlock Your Purpose, right? This is the book that I wrote in 2000. I started writing it in 2000, did not finish it, and just, again, let life happen. Well, when I did decide to finally go ahead and write it, which was last year in 2021, wrote the book, literally marketed it, did everything within 6 weeks, within a matter of 3 months, finished it through the whole entire process. Now, guess what? I could have did that a long time ago. Now, self-publishing wasn't as easy. So I'm not just a self-publisher. I actually, and I don't know if you all can see it on the back of there, see that imprint? I have my own publishing company. So I decided I didn't want to just publish my books or have my books published. I wanted to be the ones that did it. So I started my own imprint company. Guess what? I could have started that a long time ago. Now, it was more difficult than it is now. It's a lot easier, but I could have did it. Now, here's the story that I want to tell is that my lack was probably causing other people, because soon as I got into action, I've had three people that have friends of mine. I'm not even talking about people that contact me and say they want to write a book. I'm talking about three just friends of mine that wrote books now because of my inspiration. You know, I have two anthologies that I've done, collaborated with other authors. Why? Because I started and I got into action. And actually, I started it in 2019 when I published my children's book that I started in 1994 and never published. So my lack was affecting other people. I can't tell you how many people tell me about how this blessed them and that blessed them. Why? Because I got in action. And so I want to encourage somebody today. Stop being in inaction. Stop being in lack. And I need you to understand your lack can handicap somebody else. Give you this last story and I'll move out of your way. In 1989, I was sitting on an ugly green sofa. When I say ugly, 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 leather sofa, sitting there watching all my children. As I was thinking about my children and I was thinking about the life that I had developed for them. You see, I was a welfare mom who had dropped out of college. And now I had two children looking at me, depending upon me, and seeking for me to have better for them. Well, we weren't horribly in poverty, but we were in poverty that I had to look at other people. Well, I decided one day I was going to get up off of that ugly green sofa, get my life back together and do what I needed to do. And I did. What I did first was a blessing. I said, let me get myself back into the workforce because in college I was working. I was a college dropout. I had done 3 years in college, had dropped out of college, and again, I was working while I was in college, but I had these two children. And so my life just kind of shifted and changed. But here's what also changed. Again, I went to a local grocery store to get a job. It wasn't just to get a job. That was God uniquely up there. They hired me without an interview, called me to do the orientation without doing an interview. And then when I went to the orientation, the owner was talking about tuition reimbursement. Well, when he said that, I went home. God planted a dream in my spirit, and I saw the man wheelbarrow money to me, loads of money, stacks of money, something that looked like somebody went to a bank and just robbed. It was packs and packs and packs of money that it was like 6 or 7 feet high. It was that tall. Well, long story short, I was only working for the company 24 hours. And the owner said for me to go see his son so that his son, and I didn't know this until I got in the room, his son had already decided that he was going to write a check for $954 for me to get back in school. That school was the University of Michigan. That changed the trajectory of my life. And here's why I'm telling this is because it was not just my life. It was the trajectory of my children's life. Not only was I able to afford them a better life, now that they're adults, now that two of my children have children, now they have opportunities to lend to their children that if I had stayed on welfare, I sometimes wonder what would have happened. But because I decided to get out of my lack, my children were able to get out of their lack. Therefore, my grandchildren are out of their lack. And see what I mean? It's so very important. Well, that was one aspect of my life. I became a teacher, then I became a principal. And those loads of money literally became my income year after year after year. I put in almost 30 years. And when I say the amount of money that I collected in that time was over 7 figures. All right. But I still had other things that I wasn't doing. And one of them was getting my book out into the marketplace. Well, I got my book out in the marketplace now. I'm blessing other people with my story. I'm coaching and I'm consulting. And so I help women, female executives, female leaders take themselves to the next level. Why? Because I got tired of being in lack. And so I just want to encourage somebody today. Maybe it's you. Maybe you know you're living beneath your privilege. There's so much more that God wants to do with you. You have those talents, and you might be a mixture of the one with the 5 that he duplicated some things, but you also might have some tendencies of the one who you took your talent and you dug it and you put it in a hole. And right now you're not using it. And I did. My literary talent was hidden for 2 decades plus. Do y'all hear me? And so I need you to do that. All right. So gonna wrap up again. This is Think About It Thursday. I'll be back with you every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, I apologize, but I had to take care. I was Mama Bear, had to take care of me as I was helping, my son get through his crisis that he was experiencing and going through. So again, I want to encourage everybody: don't be in lack. It might not be your child that is being harmed from it. It might be your followers. It might be your family. It might be your neighborhood. It might be your community. It might be the nation. It could be international. So you don't know who is waiting on you to show up. So I need you to show up and make sure you execute at the highest levels because God gave you a talent, as said in Matthew 25, that you need to execute, execute, execute. So when that time comes, because we only have a dash, when our dash is ended, what is God going to say? Good and faithful servant. Well done. I hope so. That's not just biblically. That's not just about us in our spiritual sense, but that's about us in our personal life too. We want him to say, well done. Did we do everything possible on this earth with what he has given us? God bless you. I hope this bless you. If it has, please share it with somebody else. And again, I'd love, love, love to hear from you. God bless you. Until next Thursday, we'll be back live again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Tuesday, we'll be here live right here on Facebook channel, YouTube channel, going live for Transformation Tuesday. See you next week.